Juventus have not made any splashes in the transfer move except for making the Weston McKennie move permanent. They have been linked with some targets, mainly Manuellocatelli, but in this video, I'll be discussing the 4 biggest transfer needs Juventus must get this summer window. The 4 needs are a central midfielder, a young future center back, a young future striker, and a young first team ready right back. The first transfer need Juventus must get this summer window is a central midfielder who has defensive ability but also can hold possession and push forward. Manuellocatelli is the most obvious option for Juventus, and he is clearly their main target. Last season he showed good defensive ability with his 2.65 tackles and 2.12 clearances per 90. He also showed solid attacking ability with his 2.71 shot creating actions, 8.37 progressive passes, and 5.81 progressive carries per 90. He will most probably be the choice for Juventus, as they have been continuing negotiations with him. However, if something goes wrong, I have 2 more options for this position. Andre Anguissa is a good second option for Juventus, if Locatelli's transfer move falls through. He is not as great going forward, however his defensive output is very good. He showed his great defensive output with his 3.03 tackles, 1.91 interceptions, and 1.64 blocks per 90. He was above average in the offensive side of the game, with his 1.98 shot creating actions, 6.12 progressive carries, and 3.03 dribbles completed per 90. The 25-year-old midfielder from Fulham has a market value of 25 million euros. Bruno Guimaraes is another good second option for Juventus, if the Locatelli transfer falls through. He is solid on both sides of the ball, and also excels in possession. He showed his defensive skills with his 4.18 tackles per 90, which puts him in the 98th percentile in that position. He also brings great attacking output, with his 2.61 shot creating actions, 5.65 progressive passes, and 8.6 progressive carries per 90. He is so good for his age of 23, and would be a great midfielder for Juventus, with a market value of 30 million euros. However, this transfer seems very unlikely as he joined Lyon last winter transfer window. Juventus's 2 old center backs of Chiellini and Bonucci seem to never age, and constantly show their skill. However, Juventus need to make a move for a young future center back. They need someone skilled enough to play some games, as Chiellini and Bonucci tend to miss some time with injury, but also someone who could dominate in the future next to Delight. Takehiro Tomiyasu was very good for Bologna last season, and is a very balanced center back. He is solid defensively, but also he has good ball-playing skills. He showed his defensive acumen with his 1.69 interceptions, 1.96 blocks, and 3.51 aerials won per 90. He also showed his solid ball-playing abilities with his .83 shot creating actions, 4.18 progressive passes, and 4.14 progressive carries per 90. The 22-year-old Japanese international has a market value of 20 million euros. Maxence Lacroix had a very good season for Wolfsburg last year, and he showed his real talent and potential. He is solid defensively, however his ball-playing ability could use some work. He showed his great defensive skills with his 2.19 tackles, 2.64 interceptions, and 2.19 blocks per 90. He is average with ball-playing skills, with his .7 shot creating actions and 3.82 progressive passes per 90. The 21-year-old Perugian center half has a market value of 28 million euros. Juventus has an age issue, as most of their key players are getting over the age of 30. One of these is a star Cristiano Ronaldo, who is now 36 years old. Now Ronaldo is not a good example of this, as he does not seem to age. However, he does only have 1 year left on his current contract, and does not want to resign. Also, Alvaro Morata is not good enough to be their long-term replacement for Ronaldo. Juventus need a young striker this summer, who can learn from Ronaldo and take over his position next season. Dusan Vlahovic had a breakout Serie A campaign this season with Fiorentina. He would score 21 goals and assist 3 in his 37 match appearances. This is great output, and Juventus could really use someone that has this type of clinical attributes. The 21-year-old Serbian striker has a market value of 40 million euros, and I think this would be a pretty good price for his talent. Tammy Abraham is a Chelsea Academy graduate who has impressed many people across his young career. However, it seems likely he will be forced out of Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel is looking for a top striker, and he does not believe Abraham has that ability, so a move seems likely. I think Juventus could really use someone of his finishing ability. This past season he barely had much playtime, however under Lampard he really shined, scoring 15 league goals, and I think Juventus could get that out of him in the Serie A. The 23-year-old English forward will cost 38 million euros for his services. Odsonne-Edouard has been dominating the Scottish Premier League with Celtic over the past 4 seasons, and he needs a move away from that club. He has scored 63 goals over 4 seasons, which is very good output considering his age. Juventus should really consider him, due to his great finishing and movement. The 23-year-old has a market value of 17 million euros. Myron Boadu is another young center forward that has been dominating in this league. At AZ in the Eredivisie, he has scored 29 total league goals in the past 2 seasons. He has been showing off his excellent finishing ability and really proving his talent and potential. The 20-year-old will cost 14 million euros, which is a great price for his potential. Juventus do have a solid right back in Cuadrado, as he is excellent going forward. However, he is not good in defense, and is aging as he is now 33 years old. Juventus need to get younger in this position, and need someone that can make an impact right away. Riddle Baku had a breakout season with Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga this past year. He scored 6 goals and had 7 assists in his 34 league appearances. He also showed his great offensive ability, with his 2.71 shot creating actions, 4.16 progressive passes, and 2.83 touches in the attacking area per 90. He also showed that he is defensively sound, with his 1.89 tackles, 1.61 interceptions, and 2.52 blocks per 90. The 23-year-old fullback has a market value of 25 million euros. Zeki Celik has been solid at right back for Lille over the years. However, this past season he really showed his real talent in their league-winning campaign. He showed his defensive skills with his 2.85 tackles and 2.32 blocks per 90. He also showed off his above-average offensive ability, with his 1.73 shot creating actions, 4.58 progressive passes, and 6.21 progressive carries per 90. The 24-year-old Turkish international has a market value of 20 million euros.